let's dive in. Why don't you give your little origin story, where it all began, where you first
Uh,
started magic, and
so
how you went into that?
I first started magic when I was like 10. I'm 23 now. Um, my family we went on a trip to New York City, and it was back when they had the big Toys R Us in Times Square.
Oh yeah, I miss
And
Toys R Us. No more.
yeah, like now Toys R Us are crack dens, but yeah, they had the big Toys R Us in Times Square, and I was like, yeah, like I was a kid, so I was like, we got to go in.
Yeah,
And it was like kid heaven. Like they had a um, what are they called? The
carousel or the Ferris wheel?
Ferris
Or,
wheel. Yeah,
yeah.
it had a Ferris wheel inside with like 3 floors or something. It was crazy.
Damn.
And my parents were like, all right, like to me and my brother, they were like, you guys can get one toy. And I was like, okay, damn,
That's a
three
story.
fun. So just like went all over the place looking for like which toy I wanted. And there was a little like Marvin Magic kit, and the dude was it could have been Marvin, I don't even know.
Huh.
And he was just advertising the little kit, and I was like, yo, that's it. That's what I'm getting.
And so was it like a little? Did you see like a demo of it or a video, or you just saw like Magic Kit and you're like, oh, I want that?
There was a guy like kind of advertising it, like a magician, just kind of like, hey, like here's tricks that you could learn from this kit, and it blew my mind. So I was like, I gotta get this. I gotta learn how these tricks work. That was pretty much it. Since then, I just kind of like self-taught, like I guess most magicians do, is like YouTube, Smash Pops, all that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like looking back in the past 10, 10 years, I guess. Yeah, within the past 10, 20 years, or I guess 15 years, you see this not new rising generation, and a lot of it is self-taught. I mean, even me. I mean, I had a mentor in the beginning, but it was more like a hobbyist, and I wanted to go farther. So we just luckily had internet. Like all this stuff that we get into and connected with was through online. Without like having that internet, we wouldn't nowhere else to go. Like it first starts with a kit, but unfortunately, there's not many like magic shops. So you're like, where do I go learn magic?
When I first,
YouTube or online, you go look up in the forums. I'm sure you've done your deep search digging, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's fun going down that rabbit hole.
yeah, but yeah, like when I was first getting into it, that's like when the magic shops started closing down. Especially like
Uh,
there used to be one in closed down. There was one in I only went to it like twice, and it ended up closing down. There's one in Richmond though that I think is still up, but it's very small.
good. Yeah, we got to keep those alive. I
Yeah,
wonder how they're doing right now. I'm pretty sure a lot. I've heard a lot of the magic shops right now are. I know probably a couple have closed, but also like yeah, I hope they do well. And luckily, they got the online shops if they do, but I know most of the old school like brick and mortars like don't do that stuff, so they're like really like hurting. I'm like, man,
yeah,
that's a bummer.
it sucks, man.
Crazy.
And I feel like magic shops are like the best place to like learn or like to get magic, I guess, because most of the time they'll like show you a trick and then teach you before you buy it, so like you know the secret, and
Right.
then you that'll work for me, maybe it won't. And if you didn't like it, they'll be like, all right, here's something else we could try out. But everything online, it's all secretive. So like you don't secret until you get it.
Yeah, and you gotta buy it, and then you don't really have that hands-on experience. I remember before I was into magic, I went to like the Houdini shop that was like around Disney in Anaheim,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a I would go in, I would always go into those shops, but I would always see the pranks and the gags, and that's what I loved. And I would see the magic, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's like untouchable. I don't know that stuff." I just thought I
Yeah,
liked the pranks, but I did get a trick, and I never even really got into magic after that. But it was something I got, and the first trick I ever learned in magic was like the UFO card. And I thought it was cool how they would bring you. I thought it was weird too and interesting. Like, okay, they bring you in this back room and they teach you like this secret and show you how to do it and all that, right? I'm like,
yeah,
oh. And I
You're
remember
like,
when me and my brother, I think he got like some Gali and I got the UFO card. So we're all going to the back room and they're showing us how to do this. And it was
yeah,
just one of those little phases, and I never even stuck to it. So later on, I'm like, I still have that, the wax and the thread.
yeah. Which shop was that again?
It was the Houdinis. It was the one right in like Disney, like in Anaheim, or yeah, Disney Walk.
I think I
It's not. I
might.
don't think it's there anymore. No, it wasn't. Yeah, what was it? It was somewhere in Disney. Yeah, it was somewhere in Disney.
I remember going to a magic shop somewhere. It might have been in Vegas, I think. But same thing. I got a UFO card, and they took this little room, and I was like still a kid. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, this is kind of creepy.
Yeah, and like taught it. I was like, okay, cool. Like nothing weird. But yeah, it's I don't know. You just miss that experience, that magic shop experience.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I mean, I now as a magician, I'm sure you too. Like we probably take that for granted for not like soaking in that time, even if we had that moment to be at the shop. Like, oh, I'll go to the shop, walk around, check it out, pick up the stuff. Maybe I'll talk to a few. But you know,
Right.
if you ever have those moments where you actually see some other magicians, and then it's like you have that jam session, then it just can go on and on. And now, like that's what I think about. Like, man, I wish I spent more time in the magic shops. Now coming after this, I'm like, I can't wait to go and just try
Yeah,
to and just hang out because it's kind of what I'm doing here. It's like I'm just wanting to reconnect and build a stronger connection so we can
damn.
grow, so we could be good. And like,
Mhm.
it's always about the community that helps us like get better and others
Yeah,
lifting us up. So definitely
yeah.
good to have a
That
magic shop around. And
convention.
then,
That's what I like about like conventions and stuff like that is because like it's just a
yeah,
whole it's like one spot and everybody's kind of got their own style. So like even if you don't like I don't know if you don't like this person's magic, you're like okay, there's somebody over there that probably will like fit your style more or something
right.
like
Yeah, it's so cool. There's so much variety in magic, and then going to conventions and you've seen that and seeing people from even all parts of the world or whatever, and it's like, whoa, this is it's
yeah,
another mind altering experience. And it's like a drug. You go in there, you're like, that's why everyone stays up to 4 or 6 in the morning, you know, or don't
yeah.
get sleep at all.
Or I was at a Magi Fest in January. It was in and yeah, people just stay in the lobby till like 4 in the morning, just like magic.
Yeah, that's nuts. And I've only gone to a couple uh, conventions, and each time it's just hanging out in the lobby. That's really where the magic's at. Just hanging
Yeah,
out, jamming
yeah.
with a bunch of people. It's
Now
awesome.
I've been to like I think two of them so far, and now I'm almost like not wanting to like pay for the convention. I just want to like go to the hotel and hang out in the lobby.
Hey, that's all you got to do, honestly. So I've gone to Magic Live. I've never paid to go in. I want to go in, you know, but I just go there for the lounge, and everyone else does the same thing, or half the people basically do the same thing.
Pretty
And
much, yeah,
you experience it basically on the outside. I mean, there's a lot of special things on the inside, of course, and I'd love to
yeah,
actually go officially in it. But yeah, going to the lounge. I mean, I've done that now two times, 3 times, no, 3 times now. And it's
yeah,
yeah, it's like I feel like I've gone to the convention for sure.
yeah. And that was Magic Live or
Yeah, Magic Live in
uh,
Vegas.
one
Since
in
I'm in
Vegas.
California, it's not too far, so it's like all right. And usually I'll carpool with some magicians, and we'll have a hotel, you know. So then we'll have, or sometimes I'll just wing it. Honestly, I'll go there and I'll just try to connect with someone and like try to stay in one of their hotels. And
Yeah,
that usually works. And I think I've one time even slept in the cars, or whatever. It's like it's worth it when you're just so high off magic. You're like, I don't care. I'll sleep in this freaking goddamn hot car like in Vegas
yeah.
during like August. Like holy crap! It's like nothing stops you when you have that fire.
Hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've never been to Magic Live. That's probably one of the only other conventions I do. Actually, no, Blackpool. I want to go to Blackpool as well.
Yeah, Blackpool. Right, same.
Crazy.
Blackpool. And yeah, Blackpool and Magic Live are probably two of the biggest ones. So I know
Yeah,
Magi Fest too, though.
Magi Fest was okay. It was, I mean,
Well, have
I
you
don't
checked out? I know what's really cool. I like what Penguin's doing. They do those Penguin Expos. They've
know.
been going all around the country, and those
Yeah,
are actually really good because they bring a good handful of performers and lots of great
yeah,
music, of course.
yeah. I remember
I've gone to a couple.
they had one around here, and I went to it. It was cool. It was decent.
Yeah, I mean it's a little smaller, intimate experience, which could be
Yeah.
cool because then you can spend more time with that certain
hmm
individual. Because sometimes I know like experience of Magic Live is super overwhelming, and there's so many things. Like it's even like hanging out with other magicians. We will just jam, and then there's just so much information getting thrown at you, and like only maybe one or two things are sticking. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, dude, I wish I could remember what that guy showed me, but I don't
Right.
remember. I remember this.
Yeah. I mean, there's different like perks for like different conventions. Like the ones like the Penguin Live ones. That one was cool because like it's in your area and you kind of like see and meet more magicians that are in know
Yeah,
about.
yeah, isn't that yeah, totally true.
And then like big ones like Magic Blackpool, like you're meeting magicians from all over the world, and it's even more crazy.
Yeah, and you also get to meet the people like that probably inspired you and got you into magic, or you look up to, and possibly
Yeah,
idolize. It's like, oh, this is like Daniel Garcia. Holy crap, blah blah blah.
yeah.
Stone, Jeff McBride. Like what? You're like
Those like
partially
your
thing. It's like
favorite ones?
what was that?
Are those your top favorite magicians, or like the magicians you look
Oh,
up
I mean,
to?
yeah, there's definitely some of them. Yeah, Daniel Garcia, David Stone. Yeah, like yeah, so many. David Williamson. All these great characters, and
Yeah.
magicians. How about you? What are some of your favorites?
Daniel Garcia, for, um, Mario Lopez. I love his
Oh,
work.
yes, I love Mark. Yeah, same. It's
Crazy.
funny. I don't even actually own any of his material, but he's like one of my favorite guys. Like I'll just watch. Like I just love watching that guy.
Yeah,
I
I
really.
have. I think it was like a cigarette DVD.
Yeah,
Um,
I do want to get that. I know he's got a lot of great cigarette
cigarette.
work, and I know you've been doing a lot of cool stuff, man, with that too.
Yeah, yeah,
Some cigarettes with some joints.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I want to do. I want to do. If anything, I'm gonna take it because I don't smoke like cigarettes anymore, but like
hmm
I smoke weed, so like just apply that to the joints, and you be doing all that.
Yeah, I actually don't smoke cigarettes at all. I make little fake ones. Like these have like a rolled up card in this
Oh,
color
nice.
tip, like brown.
That's a good idea. Put a rolled up card in there. Yeah. You know what
Yeah,
I've done before is what did I do? I put like a toothpick in it, and then I seal it with like glue, so that will like kind of keep it like for a real cigarette.
yeah,
But then that will kind of fall apart. But I like that. Yeah, just put a playing card in there. Probably
yeah.
more stiff.
Let's buy like a packet of like the tubes. So it's like a
Yeah. Oh,
friendly
that's right. Yeah.
tube, and
Yeah.
then like you could use paper, roll it up, and then put it inside. Um, and that way, like, I mean, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I don't want to buy a pack of cigarettes and like take them all apart, and ruin them. And
Right. I know. I know the things we do for magic. I mean,
then,
I'll still do the same thing. Like when I did a lot of cigarette magic, I still love it. I mean, when I did smoke, I mean, I probably will smoke here and there just to do some magic when I'm out here and there.
yeah,
But when I first saw it, I was just like, wow, that's so cool. And now I don't really smoke,
yeah.
but I'll still buy the cigarettes just to like practice manipulation with it.
Yeah, like the linking cigarettes. I do that all the time with these little fake ones.
Yeah. Oh, French twin cigarette trick. Yeah, that's a great trick.
hmm
Yeah, where
I
the
like,
card ends up inside the
yeah,
cigarette.
I did that in one of my videos. I kind of want to do it again.
Yeah, I know. I bet you missed performing for people too, having that little experience because that would be like one of those great little things.
Yeah,
So, but I honestly, I really love your cinematography and your videos. It's
Thank
really
you.
cool. You know, it brings some good fresh style to it, and like as a good like art form. You know, I think people. I personally really like that. I like that version, and then also having like the reactions of people. But right now we can't really do that. So it's
Yeah,
cool that you can still always show magic in a really cool artistic way.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't know what made me like kind of do like cinematography magic, but I just kind of got into it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. It's kind of like a vibe, you know.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't really see a lot of magicians doing it like that. Like, I don't know, not exactly the same.
yeah,
Um,
I could definitely say you're more consistent with it, which is good.
I don't know. I'm just trying to like figure out like what my style is and just experimenting and all that. Um, I had a thought, but I just forgot it.
It's good. Maybe we'll float back around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wanna try and like mix like live performances and the cinematic stuff and kind of like put it together. The
Yeah,
only
exactly. And
it's
it's
like
kind of like what you see, you know, for magic trailers. You do kind of get that. It's like they sell the product, but they're really selling that the reactions for the people. But then they have that kind of cool like cinematography feel of like oh
yeah, yeah,
for instance, yeah, a lot of Sans Mind stuff is super cinematography. Like it's
yeah.
super theatrical for like I think even spectators and magicians.
Hmm.
Because I remember one time showing a friend of mine like, about this trick. I was just like, kind of, oh, and he was a layman, you know, and he was like, whoa, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's like he actually it was funny though because he thought it was like fake. I'm like, oh, well, that's just like trick photography stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, it almost seems like that way because the way the video makes it, and then also the guy talking in the background. It's obviously made for magicians. Is kind of what I'm telling him. But he's like, oh, okay. I was like, you could really do that? I'm like, yeah, that's how cool it looks. Because they really show those good close-up angles, or even like the pen to the Sharpie. You get those like Theory 11 does great those videos as well. Because then
that
they show
theory.
that kind of great close-up performance of it and like what it looks like as you would see it up close, and then you get that experience like from the reactions of the audience. And I think that's just a great way. I mean, most like even TV magic is like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
kind of like
yeah.
I guess like inspiration from is like TV magic, even like Sans Minds trailers. Even people like a lot of magicians don't like. I don't know. I still like their videos.
Yeah, no, it's really well done.
Even some of their tricks, they might be like bad for live performance, but for social media, they like definitely kill.
Right? I know. I'm just really rethinking that right now. Like, well, all
Yeah,
these guys that knocked the social media or knocked Sans Minds or any visual magic or Instagram magic are now
yeah.
hopping on board doing that.
I mean, yeah, they're probably killing it right now, getting
Yeah,
all selling all the visual stuff.
yeah, yeah. And it's funny because in the past like 5 years or 10 years, really, like you've been seeing that transition of so much more visual magic for TV and for like social media, really. Like
Yeah.
there's a bunch of magic people put out for just social media. And that's
Hmm.
interesting. I used to be kind of one of those guys like, oh, I don't want to do that because I like to farm for real people. But then now it's like, I can't do that. So it's almost like, well, shoot, maybe we should start investing in some social media magic to start performing in
Yeah.
or rethinking
Yeah.
the frame. You know, I'm even thinking like, now when we do magic, we kind of just have this little frame. I mean, yeah, we can adjust it to here. And,
Mhm.
you know, I thought it was really cool. I wanted to do this on one of the lives or, or, or you put the camera down and then I'm your hands and you're
Oh
my
yeah.
hand. You know, I saw Ben Earl doing that with Bill Malone, and it was just
Uh,
like by accident because he was showing a move. I'm like, that's hilarious.
yeah. I mean, about social media is you can take advantage of being in this frame. I don't know if you saw Danny Garcia's thing.
Oh, which one?
Daniel Garcia, when he did something with Vanishing Ink. It was like that
Oh,
whole.
I know. I heard all about that. I haven't seen it yet. Is it? Do you know if that's saved up or no?
I think I screen recorded just his part. I could send it to you.
Yeah, I'd be really interested. A lot of people are talking about specifically Daniel Garcia. So yeah, I'm interested in that.
He he kind of just like took that social media aspect, or like being stuck in this frame or in this box, and he just took advantage of it completely. Like,
Oh wow.
almost, I don't really want to give it away, but he pretty much was doing tricks for a while, and then like something that in the background was completely fake the whole time. So it was like, I don't know. I'll send you the little screen
Yeah, I'm
recording.
curious. I'm curious to check it out. Yeah, yeah, we'll talk about it afterwards. Daniel
Um,
Garcia is awesome, man. He's definitely one of those guys that knows how to think outside of the box,
yeah, for
fight his
sure.
way. Well, he's
Wow.
inside the box.
Uh-huh. But yeah, I mean, the things I do on social media, I usually don't do in person. It's just a totally different style of magic, or different, almost like stage. I think social media and stage magic is kind of similar
Yeah,
because
in a way, it definitely is. You're totally right. Because there's certain things you can only do on stage, and same thing for social media. Only certain things you can do for social media.
I,
Or it's just super angly, really, is what it comes down to. It's like a certain perspective.
yeah, uh, but like with social media and stage, like if you have a stage show, that whole stage is pretty much like your box that you can like rig however you want it to be. And same with social media. You're in this box, rig it up however you want. Like I could have IT everywhere if I wanted. So
I know. I'm getting really excited just from watching the other guys, and I haven't done too many like magic yet through the live.
mhm.
Only like a couple times, but it makes you really rethink even your material that you do. You're like, holy shit, I don't have the hand here. Where's the hand? What am I going to use for the hands? Because I do a lot of
Yeah,
in the hands stuff. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to cover it underneath a silk, or put it in the card box, or put it
yeah,
underneath the card. It's just a trip. But then
yeah.
now we can really go down these other avenues of working with everything in this frame. You know,
Mhm.
not this whole box is our stage, like you said. So take advantage of it and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go with it.
For,
Yeah.
lapping. Like, and you need a table with this. You could be lapping everything on the floor if you want.
Yeah, you could be. Yeah, you basically could be ditching stuff here, here, and up there. Really, if you had something.
Yeah, I
You know, and
mean, yeah,
actually, that's a good. I've never thought. Like, you just made me think about that. Like, why not ditch up there? Because I would never think. Like, you just have a freaking table up there. You're like coming down, and then you're showing your hands empty.
you had a pencil, just that, like,
Right.
over, yeah,
Yeah. No, I love it. And I've been seeing. Oh man, yeah, I've been seeing so many great things with taking advantage of the social media platform, but still making it look fair. Because I know, in other words, like if you're at a frame, people are like, "Oh, something happened right there." Uh, but the cool thing is that this hand could be doing something else, while this hand is in frame,
mm-hmm.
and like you have some sort of index system.
Yeah,
Dang,
yeah,
right? All you need is to load that. Think of any card, you just like boom, and just bring
yeah,
it together, and then you
yeah.
could show it. It's and that's really cool. I like that aspect because now we get to play with things
Mm-hmm.
uh, a lot more freely, and in a way, stuff that requires a lot more like memorization. We could
Yeah,
have it right here by the screen. We could look at it. Mnemonica. We can know exactly completely without really knowing it.
cheat sheets that I printed out, and I use them in the back of like card boxes. I'll just
And
stick them.
what are those right there?
Huh?
What are those?
It's like a little mnemonic cheat
Oh,
sheet,
perfect. Yeah.
and I would just stick them like in the cellophane kind of box like that,
Yeah, now
and
you could
that
have it just like pasted right above your phone.
would be like, I know exactly where the card is.
Yeah, and you can be like, yeah, this was cool because I was noticing that but everyone's telling me he was looking. And I can see his eyes shift a little bit, and I can see him like reading something. I mean, you think about that, actors and people who watch on TV have those monitors going all the time, and we don't realize a lot of them are just reading off what they're saying.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
we could kind of be doing that more often. We could be like, yeah, blah 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 blah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a whole different like game, I guess. You gotta like think differently, but also I don't know. It's a very creative challenge as well. You just gotta come up with new time.
Yeah, really put you on the spot.
Mm. But yeah, that's what I've been struggling the most is like
So,
being and trying to come up with like new videos and like new tricks to do. Just because I don't know, there's not a lot of inspiration at home.
yeah,
What's
so
up,
this is cool. So
everybody?
social media magic, and what do you think really makes it work for you?
Social media magic.
Hmm.
Um, I do like visual stuff. Like I don't think a lot of um like mind like mentalism. I don't know, cause I don't really do mentalism live that much. I actually mostly do like sleight of hand stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know, like sleight of hand stuff on Instagram can be good if it's like visual sleight of hand trick. But like regular pick a card, put it back, do some like crazy shuffling. For one, I don't like it because it takes a while. And on social media, especially with like live, everybody wants to see it like that. They're like, okay, let's see the trick. Let's see the trick. So you gotta be like quick, visual, and I don't know, just do some crazy stuff. Something that like people haven't really seen before.
Yeah. So what do you think your greatest success in one of your videos is? What do you think was the highlight? Was it more the visual aspect, or you mean maybe it was your more the cinematography take?
Um, Maybe a little bit of both. I mean,
Probably both, huh?
yeah, when I'm making a video, I have to think of like the vibe of the video, the tricks that I'm gonna be doing in the video, and how those tricks fit the vibe. I guess one thing that sucks about being stuck at home is like when I think of tricks to do for video, I'm like, okay, uh, where do I see myself doing these tricks? Like if I'm doing candy magic or like I don't know. I just kind of I don't want the tricks to fit the location and the vibe. Uh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
So
also,
you like going out to the places where it would suit like that vibe. Like maybe you want to do a trick with candy. It'd be cool to do it like in a candy store or
yeah,
inside the market where there is candy, where it makes more sense, sort of thing.
yeah, yeah. I actually haven't done any videos inside a candy store. I kind of go for abandoned places because when I'm filming magic, I don't really having people around.
Right, right. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Like filming magic and then you're doing something and someone watches and they're like, huh? And you're like, no, I'm doing this. Because sometimes it'll ruin your flow because you're like trying to focus on this. And then you
Hmm.
start watching and then you're like, well, I do magic for people too. So then I'll sometimes like open up and be like, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, it'll kind of ruin that moment I'm trying to do it for the camera.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it kind of if there's people around, I feel kind of takes that like social media magic vibe because again with camera you have different advantages than you do like being in person. And if you see people walking by and you're doing like let's say black art,
Yeah.
they're, they're gonna be like, what's going on?
Yeah, they're gonna figure it out, or even
Yeah,
like coin magic. They're gonna be like, "What is it's hiding it behind his hand like that?"
yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I kind of like go for abandoned places or just places where there's no people.
No, I feel you. I do the same thing. I like kind of going more of those places. Or if I am going to be around people, then I'm going to perform for people. But this is a good thing to talk about because I do know a lot of guys that are huge in the social media game,
Hmm.
and I've been around them while they do film, and I learned that they kind of had that same feeling that we have, but then they kind of push past it where they just don't care. They just are always on. When the camera's on, they're on. And if people are watching, whatever. But he knows the number one spectator is the camera.
Hmm.
But if people are involved, like my good friend David Bonfadini, the Magic Caster, when I see him, like he's just always on, and he's just always doing the magic, and
Yeah.
he's been filming a lot, so he's got like just tons of content.
Yeah.
So it inspires me to be like not so like self-conscious about like performing my magic and maybe people noticing and possibly figuring out. And
Yeah.
because he told me once like it doesn't matter. They're going to see that. They're going to be happy they saw that and remember that for the rest of their lives. And they'll never remember what trick you're doing if they figured out something because they're not really watching you. You're performing for the camera. If they are behind the camera, but then they're maybe watching and they're maybe more part of it. But typically, they're kind of more curious on like, oh, this guy's a cool guy because he's filming stuff. It's like
Yeah.
they forget about the magic. Maybe they saw something here and there, and it's just they're never gonna like think about that forever. It's not gonna ruin your magic career or anything like that. Because I used to think like, oh, that's gonna be ruining magic. Like people are gonna know now. They're it's I don't want to expose it. And he's
Mhm.
like, dude, I've exposed a lot, and people will never remember any of that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Um, yeah.
Unless they're magicians, and they're like, oh, I learned that. I'm gonna look it up. It's only people that really like magic or want to learn magic that's gonna do the research. Like laymen are gonna be like, huh, whoa, that's interesting. Okay, I'll never remember that.
I mean, sometimes you could like mess up a trick right in front of a layman, and they won't even
Yes.
like get it. They'll think the magic happened.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I actually did that on live one time. I messed up. Do you know the gum trick where it's like a gum and then you split it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So I
Where it's
did.
split into two different types of gum.
Yeah, like it's like one gum and then it splits into two.
Uh huh.
And I did that on live, and like only one of them came out, and then this one stayed like at gum, but they didn't know it messed up. They just thought like one of them popped out, and I was like, yeah, just one popped. Then I like quickly had to change this one. Well, they both changed or something. But yeah,
No,
like
I
in
think that's the greatest thing about magic. No one really knows what you're doing.
yeah,
So anything that you do is magic in a way, even if it is a mess up.
yeah, like in my fucked it up, and yeah, in
That's
their
like
head, this that was the trick. That's how it was supposed to go.
yeah. Have you had any good happy accidents in magic? Like something like what you're talking about, like oh, it just worked out perfectly, or someone said something or did something that ended up
Uh,
just being like a
it
miracle
happened.
in a
It's happened a few times when I do a can, any card at any number.
way. Nice.
But those ones I only do live. It's never like social media. But I'll hand the spectator a deck, and they'll shuffle it up. And as they're shuffling, I'm like, mini card. They name a card, and there's been a few times where they actually pull that card to the bottom of the deck, and then they hand the deck, and I'm like, this is perfect. Like name a number, like from 1 to 30 or something, because I hate when they do that. Like if you say 1 and 50, they're like, oh, let's do 49,
Yeah, yeah. That's
and you're
awesome.
like, no, I actually from keeping on doing it, I learned instead of being like how many no, what do I say? Instead of asking them to name a number, I'll ask them how many cards down they think their card is. Cause
That's better, yeah.
then they won't.
Say such a high number.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of gives them a hint like we're gonna be counting cards,
Yeah.
so like for high number. So yeah, I'll just be like, how many cards down do you think your card is? They'll say a number, and I've got their card on the bottom, so just like deal and then bottom deal.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man.
Those were like kind of happy accidents, but also like I don't know. I feel like those are more like it worked out perfectly.
Right, it just fell into place. Which is yeah, one of that's kind of what I mean, like those little moments that just work out just so perfectly than you
Yeah,
thought, like originally, like it turned out better than what you originally had planned.
yeah, yeah. I haven't really had any where it's like I messed up a trick and then it's better than the original. Um, there was one time where I didn't really mess it up. It was double cross.
Double
And
cross?
yeah, yeah, and that kills like all the time.
Yeah, I
But
think it's one of the greatest tricks in the past couple of years.
it is, but you know how it works. You got to mark them up at a
Yeah.
certain time. And so I marked this lady up as I'm adjusting her hands, and she literally said, "Don't touch me." Looked at her hands right away,
Oh,
and
wow.
she's like, my hand, and I'm like, I don't know, what is that? Trying to like go with the flow, like and she's like, "What's this?" And I was like, "I don't know." That she's like, no. And it was at a restaurant. This was the owner of the I'm doing this to. And I was like, fuck, like I'm not getting a gig out of this. Like I messed it up. The
Really?
waitress and I did double cross her right before.
Uh-huh.
She saw the owner of the restaurant with the X. She's like, "You see this?" And then the waitress was like, "Oh, he did that to you too?" And then she was like, "No, like it just kind of happened."
Yeah.
And then and I was like, "Okay, how can I make it so like it went from the waitress to the owner?
Yeah.
Like X went from her to the owners." So I was like, "Did you guys shake hands before this?" But they were like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh, maybe that's how it kind of transferred over." And kind of worked, but kind of didn't. Like, I think the owner still didn't really know what was happening, but the waitress was like, "Oh my god, like it's real magic."
Yeah, she kind of reassured that magic in a way because you did it well for the waitress, and going to the owner is like or manager is kind of confused at what happened, but seeing her reaction was like, okay, well, something magical happened, so she goes
Yeah,
along with it.
it was
And I
almost
have I have a good story too with double cross. I've had a lot of mistakes with it too because I've
yeah.
just done it so much, and I've uh, like it's happened a few times. Honestly, I've done it where right when I'm drawing, which is cool, drawing it on my hand or on someone else's
Mhm.
hand because I usually use two people and do it for them. But sometimes the other person will open up their hand prematurely, and I'm like, oh man! But luckily, it's usually at the time right when I'm drawing it, so it's like almost while I'm drawing the X there, it's drawing on their hand too. And so they'll have that moment and they'll be like, whoa, how is it? And I'm like, and for me at first, I'm like, I'm not done yet, but I'm like, I'll just go along with it and be like,
Yeah,
yeah, isn't that crazy? That's how strong you guys are connected. Every time I touch you, you feel that too. And even if I mark you, you get the mark as well. And so then
yeah.
I trip. So you have that other complex. But one time I actually really almost screwed up and I somehow came back. And it was one of these really perfect, like happy accidents when I was working in a Illusions bar theater in San Diego, and I was doing walk around, and it was between their foods, and they just like got their salad too while I'm doing right in the middle of it. So I'm like, oh, not the best time, but I'm still going along with it. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting down, and I have two people like connected doing the trick for it. And when I tagged the person on my right, it falls like the gimmick falls into the salad.
Man.
I'm like, oh, what do I do right here? I literally just said, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, it looks like a freaking blueberry in there. I'm like, shoot, like I don't want them. What if they ate that? That'd be the worst thing.
Yeah, you're like, get that out of there.
I basically just like kind of redirected them real fast, like, oh yeah, move your cup that way. I just went in the salad, pulled it out, put it back on.
Yeah.
Well, and because what happened is when I did it, I tagged them, and it just fell off because it probably wasn't sticky enough. So I'm like, oh shoot, I got to do this again. And then I got it put back on, and I re-tagged them. But then I kind of remembered that I did it twice. So I'm like, there's probably two marks on there. So then when I
Yeah.
went over and did it for the next person, I did the X, but I did it twice because I
Yeah.
just had a feeling intuitively that it probably was two. I wasn't even sure that the first one popped up, but I just was going with it because I knew I did it. And so I made both the X's appear on that one, and that ended up working out well just by trying to go with the flow and trying to not make it seem like I ever messed up. I think
Hmm.
anytime a magician shows that they're messed up or they messed up, that's when people start to know. But when you don't and you kind of go along with it, then it's just all part of the experience and they have no clue.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like messing up always sucks,
Yeah,
but
it's pretty
it,
discouraging.
yeah, I think it's like kind of good to mess up sometimes because then you're thinking on your feet. You're kind of like, oh shit, like what do I do? Like I messed up. How can I pull myself back together? And yeah, I think I don't know, just thinking on your feet kind of gets you. You could come up with a better trick than what you were already doing.
Right, totally.
If I did this, then it'd be even crazier.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you just
And the more
always.
experience you get too, you're gonna definitely know that happened. I mean, like with double cross, I've had plenty of times where I've dropped that little gimmick, probably a few
Hold on.
times, or people prematurely doing that.
But yeah, I mean, always learn from a mess up. It's I don't know.
Yeah, it's how you get good. I mean, I think the more you perform it, no matter what, you're gonna realize all the different ways it could end up, and possibly the worst ways it could end up. So that way
Hmm.
you're prepared if it does happen. Um, yeah, so like just practice, 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 like anything, right? We all got to do it. And then, like you said,
I
sometimes you create something better than what it actually was originally for. Like I've had that happen too, where I've come up with a different way of doing it, or maybe I do a different sleight according to the effect. Because maybe I always get called out with a certain sleight, so I'm like, okay, maybe I should not just do that concealment. I should do it a little differently. And
yeah.
I would never know that, like if I didn't just go practice it. Because if I perform it just as the magician I'm reading from the book or that we're watching from the DVD, whatever it may be, I'm gonna follow those movements, and then I go out and do it, and it doesn't really work because somehow they always catch me like palming or whatever it may be. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't do that type of palm. I should do this palm, and then I
Mhm.
rework it, and now I only do it that way. And in the beginning, we don't really know that. We stick to that, and we're like, oh, shoot, maybe I should switch it up a bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that I kind of like advise most magicians, especially like beginners, because like when you're learning a trick, your first instinct is to copy it exactly like
Yeah.
you, and you're like, oh my god, that was incredible. Like I got to do it just like that. But it always fit your style. Like it fits that person's style. They because it's their creation, but it might not fit your style. So like you have to like switch up a bit, make it unique in your own way. Um, so yeah, usually like if I'm learning a new trick, I'll learn pretty much the basic secret, and then I'll either like stop watching the tutorial or like close the like all right, I'll see what I can do with this. So
Yeah,
like
it helps you find your own way of doing it and how you would do it. That's good.
yeah, yeah. Um, I actually just remembered a mess up that I did on stage one time. So I had a deck. It was in Monica, and I was gonna do a can, and the guy named a card, and I think we just froze. It was that illusionist thing with the clock. I don't know if you've seen that.
Illusionist with the clock?
Yeah, clock force. I don't know. It
I don't
was,
think I have, no.
um, but it kind of like tells you where the card is in mnemonica.
Huh.
So I give the dude the box of cards. I'm like, take the cards out of the box, and he takes them out and literally drops the cards all on the floor.
Oh,
And
no.
I was like, damn, like in my head, I'm like, I can't restack it because I don't know the stack. Like I'm not gonna be able to do that fast.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like a part in the show because for one, when I do shows, I'm not like like the serious magician. I'm just kind of like whatever, you know. It's magic. Um, so like I'm fine with like funny moments and like messing up and kind of like owning up to it. Like I even told the audience, I was like, well, can't do the trick now, like whatever. But so we're picking up the cards, like me and the guy, we're picking up the cards, and I find the card that he named. I'm like, okay, cool, palm that, and I gave him the cards. I'm like, square up the deck. I think there was like a few more cards on the floor, so I just stepped and then like grabbed the foot, and I was like, what was the card that you named? And then showed him that, and I was like, still did fine, but it was just like another thinking on your feet.
Yeah, you got to be able to improvise. And, I've seen some great, like, mishaps that work out pretty good. Like, something that you don't even have to do the trick sometimes. I mean, even in that scenario, you can be like, someone drops the card. It's like, well, there goes that trick. And you just move on to the next trick or something. As
Yeah,
long as you have something ready to pull out, even if it's not something you had in your show, you got to have something that will be ready to back you up and to use.
sometimes.
Like I know a lot of guys use the invisible deck just for that reason. They always just carry around with them because if something like that happens, you can always be like, "Well, I have this other deck of cards. You said that
Yeah,
one card, pull it out, boom!" It's just like that perfect backup effect.
I need to start using the invisible deck more. I don't really use it that much.
Yeah, I think it's one of the greatest uh, trick decks ever created.
I mean, yeah, like when I do use it, like it blows people away. They're like, I don't get it. Like, how did it work? And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I stack mine though because I didn't. I don't know. I didn't like the add up to 13 that the original invisible deck
right, right.
comes like.
Yeah, there's
Cause I
different
don't know.
ways of doing it now that can make it a little easier. I know if you guys do different methods. I forget how it works, but I know there's like one method that's just super easy, so don't have to do the math, right? Because I know that's the only
Yeah,
part that you care about.
yeah. That's
There's a
what.
couple variations of it that you could do it without thinking, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, yeah, there's one that I mean I now do it this way now where I don't have to think about it because I take out the cards like this.
Mm,
I see
yeah.
the card.
Yeah. With me, I can't really fan right. Cause like when I show cards, it's this way. It's not the pips. I would have
Oh, so you're left, you're
yeah,
lefty, yeah.
that and like that's
Oh,
just like
that's an interesting thing too. Well, you can still do it that way. I mean, then it gives you more reason to practice the other way.
yeah,
I mean, I just practice this way too for other reasons, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's good. Yeah, it's just more practice to it. And the cool thing is, at least for the visible deck, with the method involved, it's gonna stay together.
yeah. I used to do it like that where it's like where I could see them, but I don't know. I there was something I didn't like about it because like everything else was happening here except for when I fan the cards and like I have to bring the attention up here. And yeah, I don't know. It was a little more angly instead of being down there and like memorizing it. I think I have mine.
Well, the cool thing I think right now I've been using a lot for these live streams or virtual magic because you can now just pull it out as long as you know the position like of where it's at.
Yeah,
Pull out of the box. If you pull it out of that box, and then I always say there's all these cards facing you, except for one card that's facing me, and I'm literally
yeah,
seeing it. I just chug it. So then that's it, and it's
yeah.
super clean.
A lot.
So it's one of my favorite tricks I've been performing a lot, honestly, through these live streams and whatnot.
I need to find mine. I had mine, but
Yeah, it's time to dust it off. Bring it out.
It is. And I have it marked up too. Like I marked the box because I don't remember which side it's on, so I have a little
Right.
marking there.
Yeah, that's a good
And
way to do
I'll,
it.
but yeah, I think mine, even spreading it, it's old, so kind of working. Yeah.
Practice right now. I'll give you
Wait,
six
hold on. Let me
six of
put them.
diamonds. You're like, oh shoot, He's like putting me on the spot. Or what would be an easier one? How about three of diamonds?
Three
No,
diamonds. Do you want?
three of spades. I'm changing my mind. Three of spades.
Sure. You said three of spades.
Three of spades.
Okay. Oh, now I gotta do like the fan the other way too.
Yeah.
Okay. See all the cards. Yeah, this is so uncomfortable. There's one. Yeah, no. There's one right here ish.
Well, no, there is one. Let's see. What is it? Three of spades.
Yeah. There you go. There's
Boom. Yeah. See, you did it. You did it. Yeah.
magic.
See, it's one of those like really clean, like strong effects. I mean, you could do it just really straightforward, like name a card. Boom. That's it.
Yeah.
And because you can just be holding the box right there and then pull it out
Mhm.
and it's in frame. Um, or you could get multiple people involved. You know, I usually get like name a color, red or black. Okay, spade or club,
Yeah.
letter or number. Now you decide on the letter. So there's like I'll get four people involved on it. So then that way you have more interactiveness.
Also, with that way, I think, I mean, it doesn't always happen, but I've noticed it when you like break it down from like color, name a number, you're kind of more likely to get the seven of hearts because people.
Yeah, there are. I've noticed too. Or typically for me, because I've done it a lot, I'll always get a court card.
Hmm.
And surprisingly, I don't know if it has to do with my show and what I do, because I go by Jack, right? So people think, I think subconsciously like Jack of Hearts, and it's cool because I have a little Jack of Hearts pendant. And
Uh,
more times than often, people will, even when I have to go through the three different ways, they say red, they say heart. You know, I think heart and spade are the most popular ones.
yeah,
And then they say letter when they pick a letter or number. And if it's a letter, it's usually always Jack, because I think they made me think of me. I don't know. And I'm like, oh, this just works perfect. So it's happened a lot more often for me. And then I'll have that. And then even on my business card, I have that. And then I have this. So I just have all these like, yeah, I knew way ahead.
yeah,
It
that's sick. Yeah, I mean,
just
I've,
happens. I don't know. That's a lucky thing.
I've got the Queen of Hearts tatted here, so like if anybody does a like says Queen of Hearts, I always got that.
Right? You're always ready for it.
I have three cards on my ribs, and I honestly didn't think that that would kill so much, just like a force and reveal it on my ribs. But with layman, like it killed. Like I just had I forced like three cards on people, and I was like, "Did you guys know you were gonna choose these?" And they're like, "No," and I was like, pretty much, I'm like, "Oh yeah, well I knew like way back, got it tatted." I'm like, "Wow," and they're like, "What?"
Yeah. Yeah, no, they do. Honestly, I remember when I first saw it, because I was kind of like you. I didn't think that maybe it would be that big of a deal.
Hmm.
Depending on how you reveal it, but just as like, you know, it could be whatever tattoo and just show it. But I've seen guys do it for laymen, and laymen do flip out. Like, how do you have that tattoo, blah blah blah, right there the whole time?
They're always like, "Is that a real tattoo?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's
Yeah, they
on
always
there."
question it. Yeah,
I think I don't know. With tattoos, like that's something that's like so permanent, and I think that like clicks in their head, like, "Oh man, that's like on there," you know?
yeah,
Um,
they definitely question it too. I actually do have one here. I perform it a lot. I don't have it on video because I kind of want to like keep. It's one of those things like you got to see me to do it, sort of thing.
yeah.
But I have it on my ankle, and I'll be sitting down with my legs like crossed, like like how I am right now, and I'll kind of be explaining how magic works with them,
Yeah,
and you know, with palming cards. And I usually do it when someone happens to actually pick the card without me forcing it.
yeah.
Maybe I could force it. I usually do if I really want to perform that trick. But if it's just that card, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna do my normal routine with that card, and then end it with that card ending on my ankle. and
Yeah.
it just kills. And I usually be like, yeah, that's a weird card to have, huh? Like, I don't know if this comes off, or I'll miscall it too. And
Hmm.
then they'll be like, no, and then they'll say like, oh yeah, that's a weird card to have. And so then they're really like, why? How? What the heck?
I mean, yeah, it's, I don't know. With something,
Now we're probably inspiring everyone to get tattoos, playing cards.
I actually tattoo kit while being locked in at home.
Oh no way! Yeah, they're gonna be doing some more revelations.
Yeah. But have some like neck and face tattoos.
Yeah,
The We'll have like all 52 in different places.
right. Oh shoot! It looks like we got 1 minute left. I can't believe this hour went by so fast, man. Dang. I know every time I'm like, these just go by fast because we're just vibing, having a good time.
Yeah.
Well, any
Um,
last words before we go? I know we got like 50 seconds. Any last words?
I don't know. How many people we got in here? 4 people. All 4 people here.
It's okay. It's gonna be getting shared too later
Uh,
on, so people can see it.
I don't know. Just find your own style. Find what
For
fits.
you, yeah.
And don't watch magicians. Don't watch a lot of magicians. Get inspired by other things.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
actually don't watch a lot of magicians, which I probably should.
Well, that's
But
good. You find your uniqueness. You find who you are. So that's
mhm,
good. Shine. People should keep on shining. Find out what you are, what you want, what you want to project. Well,
yeah,
thank you, Tommy, for hanging out.
for sure.
I look forward to talking to you more. Keep up the good work. And
Thank
thank you guys for tuning in. Slightly Smoking. Check us out, slightlysmoking.com. And tune in every day. More live streams.